There have been several developments in the Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard and how the case has been proceeding. There was an article from the New York Post with insiders saying that the deal could be in trouble. Europe is taking a closer look at the deal, and there's a few other things that I wanted to go over with you today. So let's get you all caught up right now. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when my videos go live. My schedule has been a little less consistent than I like, but hopefully we can get back into the swing of things. Anyway, let's get you the news you care about. So basically, there was this New York Post article that said the following. Activision insiders fret $69 billion Microsoft merger could fall apart. Sources. Some insiders and analysts have said that Microsoft, which has enjoyed a better relationship with regulators in recent years compared to rivals like Meta and Google, likely did not expect this level of scrutiny from authorities. The increasing pressure has left the companies at odds behind the scenes, sources close to the situation said, even as Activision and Microsoft are publicly putting on brave faces and insisting the deal will go through. At issue are promises of, or lack thereof, that Microsoft is offering antitrust regulators and gaming rivals like PlayStation maker Sony, which has loudly opposed the deal. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer has publicly said that the company plans to continue releasing Activision's popular Call of Duty series on PlayStation, as well as potentially bringing it to other consoles such as the Nintendo Switch. But Microsoft has declined to offer EU regulators any legal remedies ahead of an expected full-scale probe that could kick off on November 8th, and it actually did, if we fast forward into the magical thing known as time. And Reuters reported last week, Microsoft had the option of offering the EU so-called behavioral remedies, such as a formal promise to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but decided to do so. The company could still do so later on during a full-scale probe. Now, Hogue Law has a great video about this, but basically, Microsoft had nothing to gain by actually proposing anything. They knew this deal would be scrutinized, and he believes that the strategy for them is to wait, see what the regulators come up with in terms of restrictions, and then react to said restrictions, as opposed to giving them something before they've even asked for everything. And if we look at Brazil, Brazil has already approved the deal. Saudi Arabia has approved the deal. So a few places aren't less concerned with Sony's concerns, basically. And Sony is the one, basically the only one expressing any sort of concerns. If you're Activision, you want Microsoft to offer everything forever for free, a hedge fund analyst closely following the deal told the Post, but obviously destroys the economics of the deal. Some analysts and critics argue that the opinion of keeping Activision games exclusively on Xbox is a large part of the deal's appeal for Microsoft, despite the company's statement about keeping Call of Duty available on PlayStation while making public assurances is one thing. Being legally bound to abandon exclusives could be a deal breaker, sources said. Microsoft's decision to buy Activision is all about exclusivity. Web Security's managing director, Dan Ives, told the Post, if giving up exclusivity is one of the required concessions, Microsoft is going to have to think long and hard if this is still the right deal. Microsoft isn't buying this asset so other companies can use Activision games to the same extent, Ives added. It all comes down to what the concessions are. I don't know who Dan Ives is, but I don't know where he's getting that from, because Microsoft has ad nauseum said, and even this article says earlier on, that they're wanting Call of Duty to remain on the PlayStation brand. Now, if they're talking about the other IPs, something none of the regulators have really mentioned or seem to care about, that it just seems to be a non-issue. So maybe he's discussing those other IPs, which again, nobody has, not even Sony has brought up those other IPs, which is a miss in my opinion, because there's a lot of good stuff there. And yeah, Microsoft, what was I saying? Sorry, Microsoft, let me see. Let me read the quote again. Microsoft isn't buying this asset so other companies can use. Oh yeah, Microsoft is like, yeah, we're all good with Call of Duty being multi-platform. We'll see how Microsoft would react to other IPs being forced to go multi-platform, but yeah. So here's something here. In a statement to the Post, a spokesperson for Activision said, "We're very appreciative of our close working relationship with Microsoft. We're confident in the deal and its progress. And we know Microsoft is working diligently to get it done. Any suggestion to the contrary is false." In a statement to the Post, a spokesperson for Microsoft said, "From the moment this acquisition was announced, we've worked urgently to show we're serious about taking the steps needed to earn approval, including making proactive commitments about how we'll run our business, with gamers and developers at the center. The process has progressed as expected and will still anticipate the deal to close on schedule." So this whole article, like based on those two quotes, the literal sources are like, no, we expected this. This was always going to happen. And the article is titled, "Activision insiders fret the deal merger could fall apart, according to sources." What source? You talk to investors who said, here are reasons the deal might fall apart, but I don't see anybody fretting or worried about it, including Activision and Microsoft, who provided statements to the Post to the contrary. This is a very weird article that popped up, and I didn't know what to say about it. It was such a strange article to see come up from the New York Post, because it was proven wrong, and they left it. They didn't correct the article or anything, and I don't see which sources they're saying that are saying the deal could fall apart. They say they're putting on brave faces and insisting the deal will go through. Yeah, they feel confident the deal will go through. Look, if you want a full breakdown about why the deal is going to go through, or why this is sort of a weird point that the Post is making, go check out Hogue Law's video on the whole topic, because he goes in depth into it, discussing why the deal is progressing as expected. Now, the European Union did say we're going to do a phase 2 investigation, but all that means is, hey, we're going to do what we always said we were going to do on the 8th, and now that has transpired, and I'm going to make a separate video about what has happened there. But that is what's going on here. There was this bizarre New York Post article saying that sources are putting on a brave face, even though the deal could fall apart, and every time they've talked about it, they seem incredibly confident about the deal, and they actually have a lot of different ways that they could approach the regulators once they force them to make a consent decree and push back against those things. So they could tie this thing up in a legal battle for a while and fight for it, but the idea that they're just going to cut their losses and pay the $3 billion to axe the deal just doesn't seem to ring true for me. So that's what's going on there. They have commented on it. There is a letter from Bobby Kotick saying the deal is going to go through. Phil Spencer said the deal is going to go through. Everybody feels like this is going to go through as the EU goes into their in-depth round 2 discussion. But let me know what you think. Maybe you agree with this New York Post article that, look, I don't like slamming other outlets, but like the statement is like half a sentence saying that they're putting on a brave face. It is, I don't know. Most people laugh this off as absolutely ridiculous because it just doesn't make any sense. Even the people they interviewed who actually were quoted, the analysts, seem to say, yeah, like Microsoft isn't going to put up with some really, really cruel consent decree, but they never said the deal isn't going to go through. And it doesn't seem like anybody's fretting about that either. So anyway, we'll revisit. Let me know if you think the deal is going to go through in the comments below. And while I have you, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when content goes live. Thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to the members. And I want to apologize to the members right now. I know I have been lackadaisical with the posts lately, so apologies there. Thank you for supporting me regardless. If you want to do so, you can click join down there. I've had a lot of real life stuff going on that has been really hard at me in the evenings, usually when I record these. So I need to figure out a new time when these can be recorded and not impact my other life responsibilities and such. So I apologize for the intermittent posting as of late. As you know, I was consistent for a year with a video a day. So for me to like not go for a week, Just I got personal stuff going on that needs my attention, obviously. So I'll be back at it as regular as I can be. I've said that a few times now, but thank you for being patient and watching. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. I have a few lined up, so I'll see you for the next one soon. Bye for now, everybody.